Do you prefer watching us agree or fight?
Alicia, what's on your mind?
Productive disagreement.
Ooh, productive disagreement. What do you mean by that?
We were just having a conversation, you and I, about how our conversations have evolved a little bit through the course of this thing.
The dynamic of our conversations is evolved.
Because we think about similar things in similar ways. And sometimes there's real value in hearing us just peering from all the slightly different angles of the same thing and layering our shared understanding of that, right? But recently, I mean, what is this, episode 40 something?
Like that.
Recently we've been starting to do a bit more...
Nah.
Wrong.
Call bullshit.
Conflict. And I think that's great, but I wonder whether you get to just skip there.
Right. So I don't think you just get to skip there. I think what we have developed over 40 odd episodes is a real comfort with each other and a trust that whenever we're disagreeing, it's about we're playing the ball, not the man, right? This idea of, you heard that saying? You look at me with a blank face.
Yeah, but like...
No.
That's up there with blue sky thinking and going forward for me.
So we can change the words, it's fine. But the idea is that I know when you disagree with me, you're not criticising me.
Correct.
You are going, nah, here's another angle, because I think your one has got some limitations, whatever. And I'm super cool with that. Whereas I reckon when I first met you, I'd been like, gee, who's this feisty chick?
She's really so mean.
Yeah. But because we spent time with each other in quality conversation, then it's laid the foundation of trust. So I think we don't just get to skip there. I think we have to earn it and we have to work towards it. And but also we could still really be comfortable with each other and not disagree. Because I think we also not just like the idea of being with each other and talking, but I think we also value leaning into productive disagreement. So we have to value it as well as be comfortable doing it.
So what I really like about this chat, and I had this whole chat about this in my workshop yesterday, is it's really important that people feel safe to bring their point of view. And that's not a given.
Yeah.
Building trust is not a given. But one way that you can do that, and I was just thinking about it's kind of what we do. So one way I encourage people to separate ideas and identities is to make it safe. And you want to get to be someone else or think something else. So in a workshop, I'll often run a debate where we put up a ridiculous idea or a ridiculous moot. And then we get people to, and I'm usually a little bit sneaky about it, and I put people on the side where they're arguing a position that's not intuitive to them. And what that means is you get to say ridiculous things, and that's okay because that's the rules of the game. So it's created a little bubble where we're just throwing an idea around and laughing at each other rather than saying something that we feel as though it could reflect on us or hurt us later.
Yeah, so you're separating, I like this, play the ball, not the man, ideas on identities, right? And this idea of saying, just try this coat on.
Yeah.
And hold it lightly.
What would it be like to think like this?
Yeah, which is essentially developing empathy, right? And so
I don't have any of that.
Yes, you do. Nah. Just own it, would you? You've got it, right? So here we go again. Meta. So I love the way you do that. It's like, let's force a debate where you have to take the opposite perspective of what you would usually do.
Yeah.
And then I've run similar things actually where we've gone, okay, let's have a debate. We're going to have an audience and you have to argue the opposite to what you believe. And then the winner is judged by the audience as who was the one who argued most effectively for the thing they didn't believe. Yeah. And that's a really, really good skill to have because it gets you out of your own head and it gets you out of holding on to my idea. Yeah. And I think that's what we try to do. We kind of go, just let go of your idea for a bit and have a look at this other one.
Here you are, look at this one. Yeah. What do you think about this one?
So what I'm interested in is what happens as a result of good, productive disagreement? What do we do? What happens as a result of that?
Well, I sometimes say that alignment, the definition of alignment is actually productive disagreement. So it's not about everybody thinking the same. It's about people being able to think how they think and still make progress. Yeah. And I think that's what we do. We get to come out at the end of this, whether we've changed our minds or not, but we have a better understanding and we can still move ahead.
So have you heard of the cone in the box exercise? We'll put a link to it.
Is this a drug reference?
No, okay. Cone in the box. Could be, but it's not. Like you're thinking though. So imagine a box that has you can't see in the box, you don't know what's in the box.
Is there a cat in the box?
No cat.
Okay.
It's not a Schrödinger's cat, is it? Yeah. There's no cat in the box. You don't know what's in the box. However, there is a cone in the box that's like a pyramidal,
I know where this is going.
pyramidal cone, right?
Yes.
And so there's a cone, its base is on the bottom and there's a pointy bit at the top. It's inside the box. Now there's a pinhole right in the middle of the top of the box. And so you can see down, and there's also a pinhole in the side.
Yeah.
And so what do you see when you look from the top?
Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah, well, you see the pointy bit.
Well, you see a circle.
What? No.
Yeah, you'll look down and you'll just see, there's a circle there, right?
Like, I got where this was going
Okay.
in terms of whatever angle you come from, it looks different. But I don't
That's
understand shapes. Like, I
Well,
failed
let's just
shapes in
finish
fifth
this,
form.
right? That's okay. I'll teach you. It's fine.
Okay.
Look from the side, you see a triangle. So look from the top, you see a circle. You don't know what it is in there. So you will say to me, if you're looking from the side, what? I see a triangle. It's a triangle in there. This person's saying, no, it's a circle. Which one's right?
Do you know the best value out of having this cone debate is that you learn? For example, I've
That's the idea.
just learned about shapes.
It's so good. There's so many layers to this.
Really, but I think there is a, not just a trust thing, but there's a maturity thing in this. And there's a team maturity and a relationship maturity and an organisational maturity and a personal maturity. Because 22-year-old Alicia would go down the pub, and actually I have a name for this. I'll map you through it one day. Me and Sevi call it the Bogan spectrum of engagement. And as the drinks increase, so too does the level of animation. And there is a certain point where you know that I've reached a certain point because I bang something on the table and I'm like, but! Anyway. Yeah. What I do a lot less now compared to what I did when I was 22 was go down the pub and start banging the table and having the kind of debates with people and challenging them and making them uncomfortable in ways that they didn't need and we didn't have the foundation for.
So that's not productive disagreement.
That's not productive disagreement. No. And I had a side chat with a woman yesterday when we were talking about diversity and inclusion and discrimination. And we were talking about how most people that engage in those behaviours are not doing so out of malice, and so all of us are engaging in those behaviours and we're doing it because of the way we're programmed or the place we live or the environment we're in. And the question was, if that's the case and we still have a responsibility to call out behaviour that isn't okay or statements that aren't okay, how do we make sure we do that in a way that's respectful and is able to shift a worldview or start a conversation without making someone feel attacked?
That's right.
And that's really hard to do.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think the starting point for this is just to ask the question, how much value do you place on productive disagreement? And what do you do to create the conditions for that to happen if you do value it? We'd love to know.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would. It's a triangle.
I don't really get shapes.